Instead, that's nice to see. So even though we haven't seen North Georgia really be able to march forward with a lot of convincing attacks, at least the back line up until now has been secure. Can't get the read on the bounce, and that's finally our first goal. 10 seconds to go for Kennesaw trying to close this one out.
Yeah, still with the pressure here from Kennesaw. Now only our second demo. This one from downtown, and that's going to be an own goal here at 3 seconds. We spoke a little too soon here, Danger Talk. Slavip, left side, little tap, not really taking away possession. Now definitely does. This player going up, the double tap. Dog and North Georgia come from behind victory with the Puma symbol on the side.
As we've seen many time with new rosters in the beginning of the semester, this might be the first time these players are really playing together at all. So this is really setting the tone for how you guys all click together. Kwong trying to bury one here on the near post, and he does just that. Better. Be able to pad those stats. Kwong throwing it right back in. That should be open, but it's just wide instead.
Almost gets the nose down onto it. A couple members fighting, twisting, and now an open net the other way going for North Georgia. Nobody's almost hitting payload. Now is Joel. A little soft hit right there. Kind of just puts it in the breadbasket of a couple North Georgia players. That's really, really bad as this one comes all the way down from the other side.
Being able to con the defense out of a clear that gets you the ultimate goal, as we will be able to enter into that 1-1. Maybe not for long as that clear gets away. Dog into Archie, and well worked from North Georgia. Safe to the side. They're feeling like heroes. They're keeping it up. Slavip into the ceiling. Sharky doesn't get it. Joel with a deflection. It's Quonk at 0. Dog in the way. Another save. North Georgia will very much so take that ball hitting the grass. Overtime somehow.
Now coming up for the serve. Dog down. That's a bouncer just a little bit too high though as Sharky tries to continue the theme. Down bottom. And Archie does it here for North Georgia. Set up all day long. Now shoots in right now, but Quonk is going to win that 50. Seems screaming off to the side. Bounce off some wall and now in his middle until North Georgia gets another shot at it.
Watch me open for Dog, and they will make no mistake. Kwong, I gotta say, a great effort, but sometimes you need something even greater. You're seeing a player get thrown all the way across, like Joel's really just flailing, and you're thinking, okay, well, I probably have enough time to go to the corner, and then instead, it is in your net, something they're becoming quite familiar with as a feeling. There's a number.
Demo does come through, those Dog taking down a Kennesaw State member. Back to the middle, screaming up to this one, now to the left side. All three members right here. This is a very bottled up defense, and Sharky takes a bite.
No one even there because, frankly, I think Kennesaw thought that bounce was going to be going a different direction. Same maybe with the defense here for UNG. They can't read it. Slavip does. It's 1-1. They were actually on the far side waiting for an awkward touch and then dove in and actually used their flip angle to throw it right back in the middle. Of course, I'm talking about them. And meanwhile, it's just Swiss cheese for Kennesaw. They're getting sliced through by the blade that is the UNG attack. How about Joel trying to show them how it's done? It's a little bit too soft, a little bit of a double commit even. Quonk near post, that's a miss. Slavip, that's a miss. Joel, that's a miss. Everybody swinging at it. Get these people some corrective lenses because it's Sharky on the far side with the clear vision from the teammate. My goodness, my heart.
And there's really no need for them to. There's only one way that they can come in. This is perfect execution, and with all 5 members left up standing, they only have one opportunity to get in there. Raga, 3 kills on the board, make that 4! Raga on fire already in a flawless first round here. Raga. As much as I respect this B wall being put here, the problem becomes is that they have the weapons to really mess things up. Oh, Asafai not clear the corners, up in the air.
No way!
Sunflower still walks away before finally being taken down with 2 kills. Gonna blast them right in. Parker's gonna try and find it. 2 concussed in heaven, but they're not gonna get any advantage out of this breach ultimate. Beautiful from Killavati. What a way to fight that out. And now wrapped in it, the nightmarish embrace of Glore. USCA finds every single player of GCSU. In comes the Prowler. Mad is at her. It's just not many. It's head after head after head. 3 in a row. They are not stopping. They are putting a hat on each and every single one.
Ties us up 4-4, but with this weapons disadvantage and now player disadvantage, what else to be done other than lay down and die? USCA winning split 13-1. The most, if their accuracy stands to boot. Now, unfortunately, I'm not so far, but who cares? When Barry 3K gets a 4K and rips this team apart on this site A. A beautiful performance. All she has. Haddest. I don't know. That's what it is now. Lord Ian, last one left standing. Lord Ian the 14th. Last one left standing.
They don't have time.
Resurrection up, and
Except
nobody's
they don't
got
have
time to plant, Sam. Great eye, my friend. Lord Ian clutches the round, technically, but a win is a win is a win. The Elim to boot! How insulting!
Parker needs to make the magic happen. They have their ult. They have the smokes available to them, but they have seen them. They need to throw it down. In comes the Molly and Mattis Hatter to finish it up with the Odin kill. And there you have it. USCA, I said it right this time, are going to be able to take this map of Ascent, and they're going to be able to take this series 2-0.
Instead, that's nice to see. So even though we haven't seen North Georgia really be able to march forward with a lot of convincing attacks, at least the backline up until now has been secure. Can't get the read on the bounce, and that's finally our first goal. 10 seconds to go for Kennesaw trying to close this one out.
Yeah, still with the pressure here from Kennesaw. Now only our second demo. This one from downtown, and that's going to be an own goal here at 3 seconds. We spoke a little too soon here, Danger Talk. Slavip left side, little tap, not really taking away possession. Now definitely does. This player going up, the double tap. Dog and North Georgia come from behind victory with the Puma symbol on the side.
As we've seen many time with new rosters in the beginning of the semester, this might be the first time these players are really playing together at all. So this is really setting the tone for how you guys all click together. Kwong trying to bury one here on the near post, and he does just that. Better. Be able to pad those stats. Kwong throwing it right back in. That should be open, but it's just wide instead.
Almost gets the nose down onto it. A couple members fighting, twisting, and now an open net the other way going for North Georgia. Nobody's almost hitting payload. Now is Joel. A little soft hit right there. Kind of just puts it in the breadbasket of a couple North Georgia players. That's really, really bad as this one comes all the way down from the other side. Being able to con the defense out of a clear that gets you the ultimate goal, as we will be able to enter into that 1-1. Maybe not for long as that clear gets away. Dog into Archie, and well worked from North Georgia. Safe to the side. They're feeling like heroes. They're keeping it up. Slavip into the ceiling. Sharky doesn't get it. Joel with a deflection. It's Quonk at 0. Dog in the way. Another save. North Georgia will very much so take that ball hitting the grass. Overtime somehow. Now coming up for the serve. Dog down. That's a bouncer just a little bit too high though as Sharky tries to continue the theme. Down bottom. And Archie does it here for North Georgia. Set up all day long. Now shoots in right now, but Quonk is going to win that 50. He's screaming off to the side. Bounce off some wall and now ends middle until North Georgia gets another shot at it. Let's be open for Dog, and they will make no mistake. Kwong, I gotta say, a great effort, but sometimes you need something even greater. You're seeing a player get thrown all the way across, like Joel's really just flailing, and you're thinking, okay, well, I probably have enough time to go to the corner, and then instead, it is in your net, something they're becoming quite familiar with as a feeling. There's a number. Demo does come through, those Dog taking down a Kennesaw State member. Back to the middle, screaming up to this one, now to the left side. All three members right here. This is a very bottled up defense, and Sharky takes a bite. No one even there because, frankly, I think Kennesaw thought that bounce was going to be going a different direction. Same maybe with the defense here for UNG. They can't read it. Slavip does. It's 1-1. They were actually on the far side waiting for an awkward touch and then dove in and actually used their flip angle to throw it right back in the middle. Of course, I'm talking about them. And meanwhile, it's just Swiss cheese for Kennesaw. They're getting sliced through by the blade that is the UNG attack. How about Joel trying to show them how it's done? It's a little bit too soft, a little bit of a double commit even. Quonk near post, that's a miss. Slavip, that's a miss. Joel, that's a miss. Everybody swinging at it. Get these people some corrective lenses because it's Sharky on the far side with the clear vision from the teammate. My goodness, my heart.
Tit for tat, player for player. They're trying to make those right in the midst of the field. But even so, Florida Southern, they're being sent packing. They're having a lot of pressure here, Orbital. And the strike on target. Texas Red, the hero of us all, says. Florida Southern, though, they've been able to carouse CVU. And now just with a slow turn, they're going to dive the box and they're going to crash it as well. That zipper ain't getting stuck. It's getting a second goal.
At least for a moment, right? That's what we're going to say here. For a moment, but that's LSM. Beautiful beautiful opportunity.
Backboard, they're getting a bit loosey-goosey with these possessions, but hey, Converse, they're going to try and strike quickly. A 1-2, the strike is on target. LSM finds a second. That's going to be Patrick. Steps up to the plate, and as LSM, though, still looking for big boost. He does find it in the corner, but they're going to be demos, and now this becomes a power play right around that near side post. A strike on target, the bouncer will go through. That's good for Zipper's second of the game, and the third for Florida Southern as they'll take game one. You got to be able to do the exact same thing here as they're playing alongside their teammates. This one's going to rock and roll all the way to the post, and it will be crashed by Saj. Nice little bit of fun fact, Saj. Their #1 fan is, in fact, their mom, which is always great to be able to see, but even more so,
Props can mean the end of the game if they're not careful.
oh, and this one very well could be the same nice takeaway. They're going to get the second man coming up as well. Patty cake, that's your baker's man. Looking for a 1-2, though. What a cutoff. Patrick's able to get the save.
Very, very well done. And now ball open, but Zipper said I have the opportunity as well. Off top rungs it goes. CVU not able to get that goal.
So much pressure. They cannot just exist back here because LSM is going to dive through. Florida Southern was so just so efficient with in the first game. They were able to have these just quick offenses. Saj is going to take advantage of this.
What did I say?
It's so strange how quickly this game or this series can evolve. LSM came for the backboard, by the way, looking for the redirect. That's a putback. Patty, my man Patrick got.
Understanding a little bit more communication as well. I understand it's good sometimes. Hey, send 2 defenders, make sure your opportunity. But that's going to be another opportunistic goal. Texas over and over again. Pick it up a little bit, see what they can do. That's going to be one pass off the side. Still cut out now, an open goal here. It just simply rolls in for LSM. Zipper trying to get a little bit of a jump here in game 3.
Good kick out. LSM looking for the drop down. Or Converse, and they're trying to do the same thing here. One extra read, making that angle, and it will drop in underneath. The damage is done. Patrick will be able to tackle it through. Demo is going to loosen that attack up. That's a free ball, free net, free to go. No way! The defense comes through, and then it decides to trip on their own shoes. Will you guys be able to get that big dub for Orbital? We go game 5, or does Converse close it out? Big challenge! Hey, look, Orbital, there you go. Been able to see some life from FSC. But this is the problem. Look how many extra opportunities you're getting over and over and over. Converse is trying to take a page out of that playbook because they do have that game advantage, so they can get a big aggressive. Big tackle! Texas Red, they followed alignment, and last time I tried a head spin, my mom was dropping me on the ground. That was a long time ago. Big flick, trying to power play it through, and you get the finisher by Spooky, but it was this flick that ruined them all. Where some of these balls fly pretty high. Everyone's at home. You see 2 on the ground. Spooky actually being given a chance, but you just saw how quickly that one was
Able to knock the ball up, but that's going to be a chance back. Off the backboard. Are you able to catch it? You bounce it. LSM was ready, and that's another kick to the corner. Saj was ready.
Let's check it out.
You know, we're spinning that final track on the disc, right? The final track is there, and that might be a roller to kick things off. No one's there to catch it, and LSM. You can see it there, another check out of the air, ensuring that the ball does not go too far. Now a chance, rolls it high off the backboard. Spooky was ready, and Spooky gets it.
To be able to at least have half that time remaining. Converse, they're posting up. Great defense, but it's got to be an even bigger offense. Saj take just seconds remaining off of the sidewall. They have 1 extra possession, but FSC is under fire, duress, and stress. CVU trying to take down the kings of the court. Here for Peach Belt Conference. That's a strike on target. And Spooky! Exclamation point.
For a touchdown. 15 seconds just about left in this first period. Before we head to overtime, shot on goal. The demo comes through, and that is a 1-goal lead. They have had a hat trick on the trot Orbital. Quebec, and I mean, you know, you don't expect to think about that, but you know what? Why not Florida Southern? Why not a Georgia College Southern? Why not that?
Well, yeah, and that's the off the other side. They were not having that many shots. A lot of them were just kind of off the post. They were almost repositioning shots, right? Trying to bounce back. But this is what happens, Soj. This is why FSC may not just try and play defense, just keep it out of the hands of GCSU.
You know what, Daniel? I'm starting to see them fight for these mega boosts as well. They're trying to stop the starve. But Soj with number 4 may have just put this.
Turning it on, getting into their comfort zone, and I'm loving it. Now, straight up midfield, and no real challenges, trying to go for it. Zipper said, hey, yo, and that's going to be the demo. Soj gets another on the board.
That now that all the juices are flowing here for FSC, this might be the turnaround point here in the early in the season that gives us the FSC that we know can be in Zipper. Putting another one on the board, that's 2 now on the trot for Zipper.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Peach Belt Conference Rocket League. I am your last-minute substitute, possibly joined by Monkey Man. Monkey Man, are you? Oh no.
Yeah, it's very favorably for Montevallo before it becomes a massive clear in the other direction. The Pacers, though they've not been able to find these follows and burning through all the reserves, setting themselves up in a great position. And Kuno with the cleanup. Look at
fast enough, and now UM is going to be 4-1 still up on the board. They lose ball control as it hurdles towards the goal of their own, and nobody can get there fast enough. Surgical precision from USCA to find that second goal.
It becomes counterplay after counterplay between these two squads. A much lower scoring affair, but we have a much lower set of seconds on the timer with just 90 to go. A free net again. And you can't commit defensive blunders like that as a third will go up for the Falcons.
Because it is just this consistent play of almost enough. What a great example. Almost enough, but it feels like they're just pulling back at the wrong moments. They're pulling in just a little bit too slow, and it causes critical blunders like that. They go no score on the board, unfortunately, and I think they are going to go silently into the rest of tonight with a 3-0 loss against them. UM comes out strong, and Montevallo has a victory at hand. There it
It's going to be ECAC consistently getting back to center stage and immediately punish. They've won that stage control, but if you're getting punished every single time, is it really worth it? Goes back to Mithra just to eat the up air, and that is Ninja Nick. Going in already, they have a percentage lead again. Soy, is Ninja Nick gonna run away with this first crew battle? No, that is a surprise up smash out of nowhere. Ninja Nick getting a little. Yet these trades are not going in their way. Goes for the fully charged up smash, and Lord Cat II has one in return, and then my guy has one in return to that. And
from Little Mac, and nearly a call out on that down air as well. My guy's reading the plays very well right now. Hits him up, goes for the up B, and that's gonna do it. Long Island close out the first set of the year. Side B to the ledge. Now getting back towards center stage. KO Punch online. Holds the neutral B, and oh my guy 3 stock to open up set number 2.
Back air is not enough to do it yet. Top Dog holding on, not giving up. But the down air doesn't do it at 160%. An opportunity right here, but saved by the platform. Top Dog does not live there. DS Mario Main is able to hang on to their stock. Again, they are a unrelenting drill, just burrowing into the stage, burrowing into any space Mono tries to claim for themselves. Up air, is it gonna be the up B? It's gonna be the finisher right there. 0 to death right there for DS Mario Main.
Nair, oh, they tried to catch the roll in. Grab landed. Another dash attack. Will not connect. The shield is strong. And the jump is called out. DS Mario Main dunks it in, and Long Island will take the...
Still looking for it. A little bit of damage being dealt. Will be able to deal with that raise early. Skunky Gamer finds entry onto site. The rest of the team considering the push onto B at this point.
And if Gunky gets this kill, that is going to be tough to retake. Position gained, and shots connected.
A combined 5-1 record between these two teams as we get into week number 4 of the ECAC action in Overwatch 2. Clutchkey here alongside Twin Salty as we say aloha, friends, and we get into this matchup in just a couple of moments as Kane taking on the Tiffin Dragons. Kane Cougars 8-5 map record, a +3 with wins over Albany as well as Louisiana Lafayette, a 3-0 against Albany and a 3-2 against Louisiana Lafayette. Good for both of us when we know that there's 2 3-2s involved. Roger Williams, their only loss of the year so far, 3-2, I should say, that scoreline there. Meanwhile, for the Dragons of Tiffin, 9-2 map record, a +7 map differential there with wins over Ohio Northern JV 3-0, Nichols 3-1, and Florida International Blue Team 3-1 as well. So we will head right on into the game right now as we will go right into Lijiang Tower map number 1. So Jesse, what a start for us, Old Faithful, if you will, on the control map.
Yeah, going over to Old Faithful seems to be everyone's vacation spot in this game. And I'm very curious going into this because it is a series that, yes, Tiffin have the better record on paper, but you could argue Kane has faced stronger teams up to this point. So I'm curious to see if Tiffin can actually live up to that record or if Kane will be able to move on to 3-1 as we head into Control Center.
Here in Lijiang Tower as we go underway. Differences really on either side if you look at everybody, basically. The only exceptions are going to be your supports, which is Lucio and the Baptiste. Otherwise, everybody is different. Immortality Field falling very early on, and so does Panda in the meanwhile for Kane, so that's a lot of damage gone. The Shred is gone, and here comes the Dragons running right into the point and running right into this Reinhardt, who's going to just try his best to shield, but it's not going to work out in their favor. Super Tiger comes up with 2, including a kill with the trap, and that's going to force Kane back, and the Cougars are sent back to the spawn room.
Dragons claim first blood, and even with the Bastion that they had to deal with no shield, there's no sort of way to eat up that damage as well with a Sigma or a D.Va, so a great job from the Dragons to evade all that damage.
So now we get right into the next part of the fight here. Becoming already getting 2 on the Mei. That's a headshot at the Super Tiger as well as the guys goes on to Crater. They should be killed, but Zepsi getting 2 on 1 shot from the cannon. That's not going to matter. Waffle Iron boops off. We've seen this before from the Lucio's. Fallen takes off Waffle Iron, and this is looking like a fight here still for Tiffin in their favor. It'll be Beans and the Reinhardt, still Leo Leon still getting into this, and right now it's looking like Tiffin's going to hold on to this.
Tiffin just barely, and that boop coming in from Fallen is huge on them turning that around. Just not enough offensive firepower left for the Cougars. And the Dragons still hold strong as Fallen maybe getting a little aggressive here, trying to get some extra little damage for that sound barrier, but nothing quite yet.
Application Matrix is going to go right up on the door. Here comes the Rip Tire. It doesn't find any. It finds a lot of damage on the Leo, but good thing you have the Immortality Field to save you. But how much more will it save you? It might not save you long enough. Kane just losing people. Bodies got on the ground, and it's 60% rolling for the Dragons.
They just cannot even get something started here for the Cougars. They at least have some ultimates now going into this next fight. They have the Shatter from Leo if they are able to hit it, and the window as well from Beans due to Nitrous using theirs last fight. Could be a nice little opening here.
75% and rolling. Kane's got another shot at this. Ultimates available for Tiffin. Available to them are 3. Same thing for Kane coming up on a 4th. But Super Tiger taking out Waffle Iron very early on, but now the Lucios are gone. It's an even fight in terms of the supports and basically in man advantage as well. 87% left to go. Blizzard's going to clear out the server room for right now, but that also catches out Super Tiger, who is very, very low. And no healer near them for a little while. Graviton Search is going to be used at the same time. There's also the Photon Protector. Zepsi's already got a kill on the Panda. Nobody has touched the point yet, by the way, from Tiffin. And finally, there is a touch from Leo Leon, but it is way too late. And it's going to be their Dragons taking this first map with not a speck of dust. They're up 1-0 on Lijiang.
Kane only used 1 ult the entire round, and they had a few later on, but they just couldn't use it. They were so split off. The Blizzard got absolutely nothing in the White Room. Yes, it isolated the Junker. They still live during the entirety of that to pick up some kills, and there's no way to clip the wings of the Dragons quite yet if you're the Cougars, and they'll actually give in to the Zarya comp here over on Night Market. But Tiffin, they're teasing this Wrecking Ball, which I can't tell. It more than likely is just bait, but if they actually run it, would be quite interesting against the Sim and Soj for the Cougars.
Yeah,
Tiffin. There's a swap. Okay.
Oh, there's a lot of swaps. Okay, well, guys, figure this out. Yeah. 2 seconds left before the doors open. Figure this out, guys. All right, Kane's going to go ahead and mirror the Zarya, but what I think is interesting here, both of them are going to get the Symmetra. Both of them are going to get the Zarya, Lucio, Baptiste. Super Tiger's still in this Junkrat, but the Junkrat falls right away thanks to all the damage that's being poured out. And now Panda's just going to slide their way on over, get rid of the Baptiste. And for the first time, we're going to see Kane getting some percentage points here.
Fallen again finds another one, but this time it's not able to turn anything around. As you said, Kane will claim it first, and Fallen isn't done quite yet. But you could tell the target priority there from Kane was immediately, hey, where is this Junkrat? Where is Super Tiger? We cannot let them take down our team single-handedly. And that time, they are able to avoid it. Crater goes over now to the Cassidy to try and at least somewhat match the range here from Panda.
And the good news is, at least for Tiffin right now, right, you got the switch from Crater. At least that's not a lot of percentage points lost on your ultimate. So, hey, switching on early isn't a bad thing at all. 18% at rolling here for the first percentage points for the Cougars, but that might not last much longer. Beans is gone by the shots of Crater on the Cassidy right now as it goes to a quarter on the percentage points. Kane's coming up on ultimates, but they're only halfway there. Tiffin also halfway on the ultimates as well. Zepsi's got a kill on the Becomix as well as Panda right now, and this is looking like the Tiffins have their engagement to go right on in, which they do. Kills falling, nothing lost on the Dragon side. They'll flip it.
They'll flip it nice and easy, and losing Bean so early, it didn't have an immediate impact for the Cougars, but over time, the Dragons are just able to chip away, and there's just not the healing available for the Cougars to keep them in it, but at least a better start to this round than it was over on Control Center. Window available here for Nitrous to try and take away this push. Yep, there you go. Trap, Leo dead. And yeah, it's it.
Yeah, it's pretty much going to be over. That one trap you could already tell is not the best, and Waffle Iron just falling off the map. Already a team kill here for Kane, or excuse me, for Tiffin yet again, but Tiffin's going to take the lead on this. I mean, Jussie, here we go with ultimates now, at least for on the board after 69% total.
Yeah, some ultimates that maybe Kane will actually be able to use some this time around other than the one they got to use in the entirety of last round. And again, Fallen being super aggressive, able to get out and causing, well, try to cause one, but everyone TP'd away to point, and they'll actually cap right away.
Yeah, they let the point flip to their side, so now Kane advantage here with basically what they can hold as a bunker situation with everybody having ult. Waffle Iron's going to be the first to pull out an ult with the Sound Mirror. Riptire's going to come out from Super Tiger, which hits at least one off the Waffle Iron. That hits the Immortality field. Other than that, Graviton Surge is huge. Hits at least 3 people inside of that crab. Leo Leon also uses theirs, but to no avail. Tiffin's going to get this one right back.
Well, Kane, I know you needed to use ults, but 4 in a losing fight is definitely a hurting blow for them, and they'll let you switch it up. It'll be Becomix now going over to the Reaper. No more Symmetra. But yeah, man, they throw everything except Window into that fight. And that Riptire early on from Super Tiger just clips Waffle Iron, who just barely was not in that lamp.
I guess you could say they threw the whole house except for the windows. Anyway, 63%. Now they throw out the window for Beans, and this is going to kite them back. Actually, it's going to be dueling Application Matrix windows, one right in front of the other. Who's going to get the benefit of it? It's going to be Zepsi through the window that gets the kill onto Panda. Here comes the Reaper, though. That's going to get at least one. Deadeye comes out from Cassidy on Crater, who's going to find absolutely nothing, just waiting around for it. Only gets a little bit of a shot up onto the Lucio, but there's still kills falling here, and this is going to be the Reaper trying to get on. Waffle Iron backs off for right now. So will the rest of the team. 84% doesn't look good, especially when you lose your Reaper like that.
Yeah, Becomix taken out, and it just seems like Kane's getting so split in some of these fights that Super Tiger is hitting the shots that they need with those grenades to make sure they can win the fight. And as, you know, Leo touches, the rest of their team, their entire backline's gone.
I don't
like,
think they even complete the map, that's why. Yeah, so he touched a little bit too early. Leo Leon doesn't touch the map with enough time left on the clock, and it's going to be Tiffin taking map number 1 here on Lijiang Tower, up 1-0. But what a map to start off on for Tiffin. Looked very dominant on a 100-0. You do get a few percentage points for Kane, but overall the Dragons starting off on the right foot.
Dragons playing extremely well, using this Junkrat that we don't see a lot in the meta right now, but on this map especially, you can do just so much damage in these tight chokeholds, and Kane just had no answers for it whatsoever. They tried the Ryan early on. That's what Leo loves to run. Had no effect whatsoever. They just couldn't even get through any sort of choke point. The Zarya gave a little bit more success, but still left them hanging just a little bit too much.
Yeah, just a little bit too much there, and for Kane, just too much to handle at that point, especially with the Junkrat. I guess they couldn't find really any kind of answer for the Junkrat at that point, really, because like you said, not the meta that we've seen so far. So the Junkrat answer very good for Tiffin so far. Again, we head into the next map now. It is a set map pool here, so it is going to be Control, Hybrid, Escort, Push, and Flashpoint. Yes, folks, Flashpoint is the new game mode, and yes, it is going to be map number 5, at least here in this set mode. So we will see. We'll see if we get there. But first and foremost, the way Tiffin's looking right now, Tiffin can end this one with a 3-0 potentially. But so far, the hybrid coming up next for Kane. I mean, for the maps that they do have available to them, I mean, what do you pick here, especially against a very aggressive team like there is for the Dragons?
It's a really good question, actually, because they show that they want to run the rush, which you would want maybe the slightly more condensed maps, tighter corridors, not as many long straights. But that's also what Tiffin will want to run the Junkrat in, if they want to run it in more maps outside of control. So it is a really tough question here for Kane. Like, what kind of cover pick do you want to land on? I'm actually not sure which one I would go to personally. It may just be what they've had the best scrim experience on over the last few weeks and in these games. So we'll see what they end up picking. But I will say, you know, last week we saw it in some of the play of the games. Beans, she is notorious for getting those boops, and she played BAP the entirety of that map. Wasn't able to really be aggressive like we've seen her be before. And I wonder if that was just part of the reason why Kane maybe didn't live up to what they wanted to do over there in Lijiang.
Yeah, we also got final stats for you, by the way, here for the last map on Lijiang Tower. 2-0 again, your final score from Lijiang Tower, I should say. 1-0 in terms of the scoreboard for Tiffin in the game maps overall. Meanwhile, for final blows at the very least, 13 final blows coming out from the Junker at the top overall. Next highest is 8 from the teammate of Zepsi. Meanwhile, for eliminations, and this will tell you a lot of the story here for Tiffin. Nobody in double digits whatsoever in terms of eliminations. Everybody still in single digits for the Tiffin Dragons. 24, 28, 18, 20, 20. For Kane, it'll be 7, 8, 6, 9, and 1. So not a lot of eliminations to talk about there for the Cougars, but got to adjust somehow, some way here. And going into map number 2, we will see what it is, and it is. I mean, it's a day of Old Faithful, apparently, because we go from one to another. From Lijiang Tower, we head back to London to King's Row.
Yeah, I get not a massive shock. And we've at least seen Poke somewhat be played on this map, especially over the last few months. We've seen it in Owl. So maybe this is the direction Kane will want to go in. It's kind of that hybrid style, or maybe the Ramatra they want to lean towards. But I will say, frighteningly, Junkrat can be played to a decent degree on this map, especially during the final phase where it is so closed in. So I'm very curious on what they decide to do. But like you said, looking at some of these stats, nobody in the double digits for elims for Kane, which is just so abnormal for them. And, you know, we talked about the aggressive supports. Fallen had 20 elims themselves. Nitrous had 18. And they kept up with the healing. I think it was only maybe like a 500 difference in healing in favor of Kane. So even though the heals stayed the same, the damage very much in favor of the supports of the Dragons, I should say.
Well, let's see if the Dragons can keep the same momentum. Kane's going to be the first one to start on attack, as Kane was the one to choose the map. So Tiffin decides, let's go on defense to start. Put up a brick wall, and so far, so good, especially with all the damage that's being poured out from this team. And healing pylon's already gone from Zepsi, excuse me. That doesn't stop Super Tiger. So by the way, shout out Zeptalins, the Junkrat doing work.
Yeah, the Junkrat doing everything for them so far, and a nice little sub for Kane as well. We'll have to see if it actually, you know, brings some use to them, as it'll be Stan coming in for Panda here in the second map. But you saw it in this first fight. Nobody was even looking at Super Tiger, and they already have Tire.
Yep, already has Rip Tire. All the Junkrat mains right now are just ecstatic for it, and still gets a kill without it. Throws the concussion mine and says, Stan, you can sit down. That's pretty much what that is. 2:50 on the clock here. Still Kane with absolutely no answers, and really not a shot to engage in, because this Reinhardt shield is just a little bit too much to get through without some aggressiveness.
You need some sort of shield break. That or like a TP. Honestly, I wouldn't mind if they try to just teleport past them, but the Riptire, yep, gets Becomix, and they have to halt their push to a degree yet again, because they don't have everybody there.
There's an Nanoboot on a Tracer here, so the Tracer's going to try to get some work done, and is in the back line already, taking care of Beans, taking care of business, throws the pulse bomb just a little bit short. It does hit the bubble, actually, but it won't do much more other than that. And already half the time bang through, and I don't think Tiffin's taken a step beyond that gate. Excuse me, Kane hasn't taken a step beyond the gate.
They have not touched point, and I think they went through initial choke during the very first fight and then died
Zepsi.
maybe 5 seconds later. Zepsi, they have Captain Sun, and maybe they pair with the Shatter. I think that's what they're trying to do.
Shatter comes out, Zepsi's right behind them. Good call out here from Jesse. That's going to be 2 inside of that. Sun, and that's going to be a charge on. Cream's going to get 2 kills there, and what a call out coming out from the Dragons. That's going to be 3 kills, 4 kills total for Zepsi. My oh my, Cap the Sun plus Shatter equals death.
It's just an instant fight win, especially when both bubbles were used by Leo pretty early, just because they have to, for self-preservation and even get to the choke point with this poke damage coming in, they need to use them on themselves. They have to be selfish. So they didn't really have anything to help their team with. Grab goes down early, and again, they don't get anything.
They do get one, though. They do get Cream down, which could be their win con here, especially now no healing pylon. Iati has to run. So it's going to be the Bastion that actually gets a hop up from the assist from the grenade, lands him up top of the statue, but that's going to come down for a little while. You get rid of a lot of damage, which is Super Tiger. So there should at least be 1 tick for you for right now if you can get that. And now it's just going to be the Iati fighting against the world. Beans and the Reaper up there of Becoming, just trying to tag them down. Meanwhile, it's going to be Cream that does come back here. It's going to be the Nano Boost from Fallen, or Nano Boost from Nitrous Oxide onto Fallen. Let's see how much they can do. Great Bionate onto both the Reaper as well as Leo Leon, and that Death Blossom's just going to go all for nothing here. They do get 1 tick, but Kane is denied access otherwise.
Yeah, that Death Blossom, we didn't get to see it, but no kills to fall their way. And Stand admittedly hasn't been able to do much on this Bastion, and they'll get taken out again. Pulse Bomb, why not? Throw it in there on the Leo. You do get taken out, though, by Waffle Iron, but Tiffin, they just don't stop. They're going to keep this pressure going to make sure Kane doesn't have a full fight here in their potential final push.
It could be a big Riptire used, though, because now they have the go button here. They know that there's no Riptire, really no ultimates on the side of Tiffin. No ultimates on the side of Kane either, but now that you have this little bit of speed plus dive, you've got a chance to make some noise on this point. So here we go. And yes, they absolutely will. Wildfire Iron's already taking care of Zepsi. No healing pylon either, so no healing from the dead. They're just going to jump on Nitrous Oxide, and Nitrous Oxide still alive somehow, some way, but they go down. It's a first tick and a half so far, but Fallen's still trying to make some noise with 2 kills in the back line. Fallen does finally go down, and this should be all 3 ticks coming from Kane. So at the 11th hour, they finally get all 3 ticks, and they'll add 2.5 to the bank.
I think especially taking out Zepsi as early as they did changed that entire fight. They put pressure on the Nitrous, who had to fight for their lives instead of trying to heal the rest of the team. And I would admit, they got it very close, the Dragons, but just not enough. And Kane, like you said, 2.5 minutes added back on. And a lot of great positioning here. They should be able to get this payload at least through the initial archway, with ultimates to actually use later on. But this Captive Sun going on the high ground from Zepsi yet again.
Here comes the Titaneer Rush out from Beans at the first sight, and Stand is going to go ahead and shred away what they can. And that combination of the Bastion plus the Titaneer Rush, my oh my, probably the deadliest combination I can think of right now. Oh, Zepsi's in a little bit of trouble, and there's at least the jump away for right now. So there's the burst out, but it's just going to be Zepsi doing all they can. But it's not going to be enough. Can't run away. Card advances.
Yeah, just stalling time. They stall at least 15 seconds. The rest of their team should be able to get in a pretty decent spot, and they'll just be a little bit late to the party. And if you're Kane, all you had to use was Kitsune Rush, taking advantage of using that Bastion and Cream. All they can really do is hold their shield up when they're that far away. And now the Artillery Strike can try and isolate this backline and make even more space. Look at this. They have so much. This card will almost get to the end of second phase before there's a real fight.
Fallen's in the back line, though, and that's going to allow them to kind of just go right in. Zepsi's already got a kill onto Leo Leon, which means any potential chance of a dive right now gone because, well, Leo Leon didn't really get a chance to use their ultimate. Here comes the Nano Boosted Reinhardt. That's just going to swing away. Tiffin used 3 ults, but or 2 ults, rather. It's not going to matter, though. Kane's got 3 coming up, but it's still a pushback here for the Cougars.
Still exactly what the Dragons need, and they have their most important one, you could argue, being the Riptire from Super, and the Riptire from Super Tiger. That's a lot to say. And they have the Shatter Captive Sun combo as well. So honestly, Waffle Iron, a lot of pressure on them to land this Sound Barrier at just the right time.
So here we go, 25 seconds, final fight coming. They did this in the 11th hour last round. The first push with 0 time on the clock. The Reaper's going to go right around here. The Death Blossom is going to rip away. No sleep dart there. Becomix finds 2 in the back line. Captain Sun is going to try to make a difference here, but Becomix just can fade away off of that. It's already found 3 kills, and my oh my, Cougars living to see another fight here with overtime coming up.
And it'll be Zepsi that used the Captive Sun during that fight. They won't have that combo any longer. I think Tiffin maybe just got a little too aggressive with how far up they were positioned. Cream took a lot of damage early on, and they were never really able to build back from it, but they should have another touch here in the dying moments.
Can they get there? Yes. 2.14 meters left to go. Kane's got nothing. Tiffin's got 3. Ultimate's used. Shatter's out, and I don't know if the Shatter hit anything. It might have hit 1 at the moment. The Riptire does a lot of damage, and Stan is going to fall down for the rest of the damage coming out from Zepsi. 5v4. Somebody's got a touch. It's down to 1.94 meters left to go. They've got the damage. They've got the output. Can Tiffin execute to make sure they deny access to the Cougars right now? Dragons fighting alongside here. Super Tiger's got the kills, and now they've got the Bionade out to Comics. Nobody else is going to be able to touch the point. Super Tiger comes up with 2 big kills, and they will get stopped. The Cougars cannot find more than 1 point in 112 meters. Dragons need that to go up 2-0 in the series.
They just could not break that dang pylon. You could see they were looking at it the entirety of that fight. Leon was just trying to put some damage into it, but it just kept on keeping Cream up, and it allowed Nitrous Oxide to really be aggressive with those shots. You saw them finish off Stan, who was just trying to get anything on that Bastion. So a decent recovery here from the Cougars after a very rough start to the map. But honestly, this first fight will be exactly the way we see the rest of this map going. If they can hold on strong, I think they got a chance. But if Tiffin win this first fight, we're looking at a 2-0 entering S-Core in a very similar mode that Tiffin just looked extremely composed on.
Yeah, especially in the Streets phase mode. I mean, you could argue that maybe if Kane decides to go more open air, maybe that'll give them a shot, especially with really, I mean, other than Zepsi and Nitrous Oxide, really have nothing in terms of maybe a hit scan, I guess you could say, up in the air. So, I mean, maybe you try to go for open air. That we still got to get through map number 2. Fallen for the first time. We may or may not get to see the Somber for the first time. Now, remember, folks, Somber did get reworked. So Translocator, really just a throw around, no longer a throw in place. It's just a throw to get out, and then you've got the passive along with the passive invisibility along with the virus. But no, we will not see it. Instead, we have the Echo coming out. I know a few people that'll be happy with that, but against Septilin, still happy with the Junkrat around because Super Tiger's been doing work on this.
Super Tiger's been insane on this Junkrat and playing it at the level that it needs to be played. As you can see, Beans get extremely low early, gets hit with the Bionade, has to fade away, but they're actually the ones that are able to get the first 2.
Yeah, so it's going to be the Cougars that get the first 2. Comics on just deadly on this Reaper right now, and so far so good. I mean, 30 seconds in, yes, it's only a short amount of time, but at least you're denying them for right now. And look, the Mercy Echo combination didn't work for you on the first try here with really no hit scans available to you besides maybe stand on the secondary pulse fire.
Or they stand and maybe Waffle Iron if they want to take a few pop shots from the back line, but a lot of free space here should be given here to Fallen as they wait for Zepsi to come back. And you can tell now they're really respecting Super Tiger. They're not even like trying to tease any angles that those nades could hit, and they're just respecting the space extremely well.
So here's an angle we didn't see Kane take earlier. They're going to go right upstairs. They're going to go right around everything. And I don't think Kane noticed the start, so now this is free space here. The Mercy's going to fall really low here, and Sepsi just cannot get out of it, which means it's Echo now. Free reign for Leo Leon to just kind of jump on the rest of the way, and there's going to be kills falling here for Kane. Stan falls very low, but not low enough. And it's going to be the Cougars shutting the door on the Dragons this time.
Tiffin's game plan on defense and why they played so well was being able to hold certain choke points and really force Kane into awkward positions, but they're not able to do that here on this attack. You saw it there again. They even force a rotate. They try and have Kane be split on their peel, but it's so clean, and they catch Zepsi so early in it to where the entire attack just falls apart.
Yeah, and we're going to have Fallen switching on over from the Echo back to the Tracer. Tracer pretty much the statutes of what the Dragons are right now, because Fallen was getting a lot of kills. Maybe we'll highlight that later. 2 minutes left to go on the clock. Leon's got Cream, but there's an opening, maybe, just maybe, because the Winston's now gone. Becomix does fall, and Super Tiger finds 2 on the Riptire. The door is open for the Dragons here. They may as well get the first tick. Becomix is down. Now, Leon has a decision to make here, because if this adds 2.5, that's going to be plenty of time. If Leon can get back here, has the primal range available to try to hold on. The question is, do they want to do that? And it looks like the decision is going to be yes. I mean, they're going to try. Yes, they do. Primal Rage is out. Bubbles down already, but Leon already falls down to half health. 90%, 90.2% to be exact. Leon's gone. Here comes the Death Blossom available to them. Death Blossom trying to clear the point, but the passive, oh no, Super Tiger gets rid of Becomix post-mortem, and it's going to be the Dragons that get 2.5. Oh my goodness.
So much pain. So much pain
watching
the
that
pain.
happen.
It's like you see the Junkrat so low, and as soon as you kill him, that's when you pop the ult. It's like, no, like just move for a second.
Oh, the
I
total
don't
mayhem.
blame the comics. They got the adrenaline pumping through them right now, I can imagine. But a painful ult there from Kane, who 2 ultimates just given away, basically, and Tiffin now have so much space to work with. And they have the nano they can throw on the cream to build this grab. They have the Captain Sun as well. But again, they actually give it on to Fallen.
They give it on to Fallen,
And
who goes down right away. What a bio nade there. But Stan is going to use the overclock to clear out the rest, and Beans gets the final blow on that. So Kane uses essentially 3 ults, basically, including that Death Blossom that happened earlier on. But they still might not win this fight. The Cummings does go down by the hands of the Bionade here. So now they have the Captain Sum out. That's going to be the grab time surge, which only catches Stan. And Stan is going to be able to rip away from this. And somehow, some way, they still stay alive. Although they're going to lose the Winston, it's not a lost fight coming up in the home stretch here.
They just need to be able to actually group up. Kane are so split right now. Leo won't be able to get back on more than likely until when this car is eerily close to the 112-meter mark. And they only have the Coalescence to really work with. Tiffin, you can see Super Tiger almost has the Rip Tower. As soon as they build it up, you assume they are going to rip it and try and catch that Coalescence.
2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. Here we go. Kane's got nothing on the board except for the Coalescence that's just going to be used here. There's going to be the Rip Tire out. Is anybody going to be able to hit anything? No. Super Tiger finds nothing on him besides a little bit of damage on to Leo Leon, which a little bit of extra, or the Coalescence has to be used on to help the Winston out, but it might not be enough here. Green and Super Tiger both getting kills. It's a 5-on-3 man advantage here for the Cougars, making a 5-on-2. The rest of the team starts to fall. Leo Leon is going to fall down oh so low, but somehow, some way, still alive. Not for much longer. Final 5 meters coming up here. I don't think anybody else touches. They're going to force them back, and the Dragons are going to get both points here, essentially getting the golden box, and they're up 2-0 in the series.
A little bit more fight there from Kane, but it just seems like Tiffin are so much more organized in these chaotic fights. Fallen is always forcing people into awkward positions, and Super Tiger, like, what can we not say about this Junkrat play? They're always putting these traps in very advantageous positions, and these flanks, they make sure they take advantage of them every single time with the damage. There you go, 2K for Super Tiger, and the Dragons feeling excellent right now about how they are playing, with a 2-0 lead now. And you gotta wonder for Kane, like, when is something going to give? They looked good during the first half of that first phase defense, but as soon as Tiffin was able to find one little way to budge in and then force them to just be awkward for a little bit and uncomfortable, they were able just to burst it wide open.
Yeah, I also want to talk about, and you were talking about one of the DPSs there. I mean, you were talking about how Super Tiger's been one of the main people, but when Fallen's on this Tracer so far been absolutely great. As we take a look at some of the numbers there, you can see the numbers down below, 29 eliminations, and right now that 29 eliminations was the highest we saw back on King's Row. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, don't mind the Echo, because the Echo didn't do all too much, but when Fallen was on the Tracer, there was a reason why that Nano Boost Prio was on Fallen. You can see, again, the numbers down below, 12 final blows, 29 eliminations. That means that this Tracer is still eerily good, and that means both of the DPSs from Tiffin are just something to watch. The targets are on their back. You know that if you try to target Prio one thing, you know at least Tiffin's got the damage to make that up for the rest of it. So really for Kane, I mean, going into this next map here, which is going to be Escort, is there any adjustments that Kane needs to make? Because obviously they need to do this to keep themselves alive here in the series.
If they're comfortable with poke, I think going poke is something you may have to go. That or even a brig, because it seems like that backline is just getting destroyed half of these fights, whether it be Fallen on the Tracer or the Junkrat nades coming through. There's got to be some sort of peel for that backline, whether it be, maybe a BAP or a brig for a little bit more support, or even if you have, throw a Tor back there just to keep watch for Fallen on this Tracer. I don't even think it'd be that bad of an idea. Just some sort of way to keep your backline alive, because a lot of these fights, especially later on, we've seen Waffle Iron be targeted so early. You saw Beans get forced into using Fade very early into these fights. And Kane initially looked good, but as soon as pressure is on their backline, either one of them falls or they commit too heavy. It's a weird spot for the Cougars to be in, because they looked great a few weeks ago, but the Dragons definitely pulling some strings.
Yeah, then there might have been some issues, I guess. It is a new season after all, so you got to be careful on that. It's a relatively new season. You got to remember, folks, that this new patch came out back on October 10th. So it did come out a day afterwards, and that was Kane's first loss against Roger Williams 3-2. That was last week on October 11th, and now we're a week into this, so maybe we'll see something different. However, as for something different, getting word now that there will be a sub in for this next escort map. Super Tiger out. The Junkrat, I believe, is going to be gone. Sorry, Sept. No more Junkrat. But anyways, Crater comes in for Super Tiger as we go in to what I thought could be the map here for Kane. It is going to be Route 66.
Going over to the old faithful cafe. Honestly, you know, that bacon and bacon sandwich, even though it's just bacon, sounds pretty good right now. I can't lie. But we'll see what they're able to do here, especially without the Junkrat in play. You got to think they're going poke then or something else to use maybe a double hit scan setup because the Junkrat has been so good. So the fact that they're not going to use it during this map, that says some sort of change is coming.
Yeah, I feel like the Junkrat, I mean, there's not a lot of choke points here, especially, unless you're inside of that third point. There's not a lot of opportunities here for the Junkrat to kind of make some noise here if there's going to be flying characters all over the place. I kind of suspect that Kane may be going there, maybe either diving or kind of flying around, considering that really there's not a lot of hit scan coming, so that's where Crater might come in. And you've got Cream on the Diva as well to try to maybe counteract this, but if Kane comes out here with this, the first time we're going to see the Genji out here in, well, a little while, I guess you could say. We haven't seen this. It'll be the first time we see this in this game.
Yeah, first time in this series we'll get to see the Shimada brother be pulled out, and I don't mind it, honestly. I really don't, because it can help a little bit with Fallen, trying to deal with Fallen. So I don't mind this hero from Kane. The versatility and the verticality of this hero, just trying to challenge that pressure up on top gas as they're doing right now. But Bionade, yeah, that is just a very quick fight. Is Zepsi able to find one early?
Yeah, Zepsi finds one already, but Beans takes care of Fallen. So Beans takes care of the backline pressure here. That's going to allow this Genji to kind of move in. There's the outburst coming out from Zepsi, who has to try to use that to move away for right now. And now it's going to be just this Diva running away for their lives. So you could say in a 1-for-1 trade here, even with the spawn advantage, going to be equal on either side. It would look like Kane's got the pressure to solve this for right now. There's a little bit of a hindrance going on with the nade for right now. Becomings gets cleared out because of Cream. So now it's a 5v4 man advantage without the Genji, but this Soldier's still doing a lot of pressure. However, Stan does go down. That's going to send Kane back to the spawn.
It seems like it's an awkward comp here for Kane to play because Stan hasn't really been able to find any of those angles that they're trying to find because Leo and Becomix are pushing them to the backside of gas station, even towards top tunnel, but Nano Blade will try and change that.
Nano Blade gets at least one for right now. Captive Sun, though, is going to do a lot of damage. Becomix goes down to the hands of Crater, who only had 10 health left for Becoming, so that Nano Blade goes for nothing. In the meanwhile, Zepsi getting that final blow pretty much secures that, so Nano Blade, and you throw something out. I mean, Tifton throws 3 ultimates of their own, but to no avail for Kane.
Yeah, you think that Nano Blade might be it, but the defensive Captive Sun, actually, from Zepsi, able to get something done, and now Crater will just chill in the back, and will have to now make something work with their Tracer out of the picture.
Well, their Tracer's gone, so is the pylon, the healing pylon for right now. Nitrous Oxide, though, gets rid of Leon. Again, no dive potential here besides the Genji now for Kane, and now with Crater taking out Becomix, it's not looking too great for you. This is a runaway situation. I don't know if you get out of this one.
Yeah, I don't think, well, maybe if you don't go bait, and you can tell Fallen wants more. Trying to get Beans, they get eerily low. But during this, Leo will push forward and get Crater?
Gets Crater on the Primal Rage, so yeah, I mean, Crater's out of contact for right now, but they're still pressuring the second floor, and you're talking about verticality here. Diffin's got that all covered on all levels of the floor right now. Down to minute 15, gonna throw up the bomb right behind them. Self-destruct out, not gonna find a single thing, but Becomix does get a 1-for-1 trade, does go down, but Fallen again, but they still have no pressure to push here.
And now they go over to the Zarya, so now they're committing to more of just a normal rush, which I think helps Beans, because it felt like Beans couldn't do a whole lot, but again, first Elim goes to the Dragons.
Yeah, first Elim goes to the Dragons here, 52 seconds. This is either a runaway situation or you keep going, or you got to keep pressuring here because they're going to keep pressuring, although you've lost 2 people already. 44 seconds, yeah, you have sometimes and this card is near spawn, but I mean, you're wasting time here to regroup with your team if you're going to try to hold on to this because it's already down to 30.
Yeah, you need to reset if you're Kane. Like, everybody just needs to figure out, what are we doing? They almost have Nano Blade. They have Coalescence to open this up without the fear of a Pulse Bomb from Fallen. It'll be a lot on if that Dragon Blade can actually get something done. Zepsi does have the defensive Captive Sun. If they choose and stand, 3 minutes and 40 seconds into the game, finally able to get that Tac Visor online.
Yep. Attack Visor coming up right now as we'll get to see that gets used. Captive Sun comes out. It's going to be finding at least one pick so far. Not enough, though. Deadeye gets deflected. Becoming says, no, not with the Deadeye, my friend. Crater goes down by the hands of his own Deadeye. Cream's going to get out of mech here. This should be the fight win, but the card may be far enough where that might not matter here. They get rid of the Healing Pylon here for this lottery to go down. Wow, that was close, actually. So, yeah, that was super close. But in the end, they might be able to get it, and yet again, it shows in the first point. In the 11th hour, Kane still finds a way to put 2.5.
The only thing that they might struggle with again, though, is entering this second phase. Do you have enough time to actually get through it? Because Tiffin has shown that they can really win these early fights, especially when no ults are involved. They will make some changes of their own. The Echo Mercy is back. Cream is over on the Rhine to try and at least counter out Leo a tiny bit. So now it even puts even more pressure on Stan to get the value that's needed.
So here comes the Dragon Blade. The Nano Blade comes out, swing, dash, hack away, gets 3, looking for another in the air. Becoming finds 4, and the Dragons are silent. There's the Nano Blade. There's the kills. Becoming finds all 5.
Hey, you can tell he was waiting to try and get the 5K with the blade itself, but yeah, you can tell Zepsi's like, just do it. Like, I'm not gonna try and fight you on this, as Kane gets in a very important fight. And now they get so much space as they enter maybe 1 fight territory to go into third phase with actually over 2 minutes.
Yep, 2 minutes, 1.5 minutes left to go.
No.
Battle Mercy, though. It's going to be the Nano Boosted Mercy. And why not? Take your shots on the pistol for the Battle Mercy. Finds at least 1. Will be coming to Leo Leon. Take care of 2. So there's the push-up here, and now it's a 4v3 man advantage in favor of the Cougars. Leo Leon does have the Graviton Surge available to them. Doesn't want to use it just yet because there's really nothing to use it for. But they're pressuring out the Reinhardt a lot. Fallen on this Echo right now. On top, gets rid of Beams with a focus beam. And now they still got a chance at this. The Dragons can turn this right back around. There's the Graviton Surge that's going to find at least Nitrous Oxide. Will it find the rest? There's a good Bionade onto the Reinhardt for right now. Gets the rest, denied access as Leo Leon takes care of that one. There's the Reinhardt that's going to fall. Leo Leon, your hero of that fight as Kane takes a look at their second point of the map.
Leo with an absolute crazy play, able to get the Ana, puts the grab down during that, able to deny res like you said, and just single-handedly keeps this map alive, in my opinion, for Kane. They have the time now. Cream will be forced off of the Rhine. They got nothing with that Shatter. They will go over to the Zarya to match. And now Kane actually in a pretty decent spot, but Tiffin have the ults.
Yeah, they've got, Kane's got ults as well. They've got 2 support ultimates, which they're going to use the Coalescence on. Great Bionade, by the way, onto the duplicating Genji, which means Fallen's got nothing doing on this duplication. And now they're just going to try to run away with this, but Nitrous Oxide throws the Bionade right into Beam's face and says, hello, you're gone. As they've got 1.5 minutes left to go, they'll back off because they've got no more. But Stan gets rid of Fallen, which is huge for them right now. And Becoming in the air gets rid of Zepsi, so it's a 2 for 2 for right now. But Leo Leon says, let's get more.
Yeah, he's at full charge. Might as well try and push forward and get something out of this. As Zepsi yet again caught in an awkward position by just trying to do a little bit too much. And Deadeye, they get nothing.
No, Deadeye gets nothing. Becoming is still in your back line. Another triple kill at 3-piece. Another clip for Becoming here, who's got 3 kills. Could look for a 4th inside of the spawn room. Won't get it because of the angle there. But 50 seconds left to go. Oh, Becoming's here low, and he dashes into a wall, but gets out just in time. 4 meters left to go. Can somebody touch? Here's the question. And they do get the touch from Fallen, but the Tac Visor's going to come out. This may clean up house here. And so right now, as it stands, 3 kills already falling for the Cougars. They've got Cream and Zepsi. Zepsi's gone on the Valkyrie. Wrecking Ball's just there to deal amount of time left to go. 30 seconds left, and now the slam down, and they get rid of Cream. They get rid of everybody else on the Dragons, and for the first time we will see in this series, Kane goes uno, dos, adios, completing the entire map on Route 66, and they do so in a lot of primetime moments.
They're probably thinking to themselves right now, look what happens when we don't have a Junkrat shooting nades everywhere. Honestly, they did a great adaptation of making Crater uncomfortable during a lot of moments of the second and third phases. They took advantage of Cream with the shield. They didn't really... Cream was never able to close the gap and do what Rhines want to do during second phase. And by the time third phase came around, they played a little bit better. But Kane, at that point, the momentum is just flowing. Becomix really turning it on this map. Stand admittedly had a very rough first phase, but looked great near the end when they had to deal with that Echo. And I'll have to say it, like, the Echo Mercy pick just didn't work that time. And it felt like Zepsi just got into too awkward of positions to where Kane were easily able to capitalize on it and turn fights around that arguably should have been in the Dragons' favor.
Yeah, and right now for Kane Cougars, you got to feel pretty good, especially when two of your leading damage dealers right now, both your Zarya and your Genji. Zarya right now for Leo Leon, top of the elim boards at 23, 20 elims coming from Becomix, especially on, I believe it was a total of 8 of those coming on Nano Blade. So got to feel pretty good for Kane, and for Kane right now, not adjusting anything. They know that this comp can work. Meanwhile, for Tiffin, Crater will go onto the Genji mirror.
I don't mind this actually here from Tiffin. You know what you tried to play didn't work. Try and run something that was very similar to what they ran at the very beginning of this map with the Winston, but this time full dive. That was the one thing with Kane. In this comp, when it has the Winston for Kane with the Moira, it is just so uncomfortable to get Beans in a position to where they're actually able to heal without risking their lives. But in this rush comp, they seem to be a lot more comfortable, and she's able to use some of those plays that we're so used to seeing from her.
And Cream on 2 kills with 1 jump pack. So Becomix goes down, Stan goes down. You do have both of your supports, but Leo Leon is still in this fight. Fallen does go down in the backline. Again, both of your supports are still up, which means this Winston needs to focus on something, and Waffle Iron does go down. So 1 fight, and already the Dragons have this pushed up to what is basically home stretch of the first point.
Yeah, and at least Leo and Waffle are able to get out. And no ultimates were really created here for Tiffin, but yeah, that was a disastrous fight if you are the Cougars, if you want to try and make this a series.
I don't think you want to be stuck in this room either, especially with the amount of damage that's being poured out. But Stab does get rid of Zepsi, so hey, there's the support gone, but now Stab's in a little bit of trouble. There goes Stan, but Fallen spawns 2 in the background, and again, when Fallen's on this Tracer, magical things can happen here for the Dragons. You can see already 2 kills Fallen, looking for the 3rd right behind the back of Beans. Beans isn't able to get out. Fallen does go down, but still finds a way to get rid of 3, which means it's just up to Leo Leon and the Genji of Becomix, who are both on point. They'll pop up the primal rate just to see if they can get anything else going, but the healing pylon gone, which means for Zepsi, if they die here, no healing post-mortem. But the Genji gone yet again for Becomix, who just can't get anything going. Still in the final home stretch here. Good Bionade onto the Genji of Crater, but Crater's able to escape with their lives so far. 4.77 meters makes the difference. And now it's just going to be the Pulse Bomb lining out. Pulse Bomb finds nothing, goes just a little bit wide, and actually hits the bubble to give Leo Leon a lot of charge. But there's a Bionade that hits Leo Leon with no bubbles available to them. This is going to be the fight win. This is going to be 2.5 minutes added on to Tiffin Dragons.
The bubbles saved their support, but they couldn't use it on themselves to cleanse the nade. You could tell Waffle Iron was begging for that nade effect to go away, to pop the nano onto Leo, just so they could stay alive, but instead they'll have to settle for now. 4 minutes on the clock for the Dragons entering second phase. Plenty of high ground control, but Kane do have the Nano Blade in their back pocket to grab as well. So they have the resources to start building a nice little ult rotation here. The question is, though, can Tiffin just break it all open?
I want to ask first, before we get into this next fight here, are you surprised there's a lack of a Kiriko on either side? I mean, I know this isn't the meta, but like, they're really getting dealt a lot of damage. We'll answer that in just a second. Here comes the Nano Blade yet again. Becomix finds 1, but I don't think he finds another dash to get another one, so Becomix just slashes away at the Winston, who does die in the process. Will dash away at another, and Becomix just dashing away. Just speed racer on these dashes, finds 4 on the total, but it's going to be the defense that needs to hold up a little bit more here.
To answer your question, I think Tiffin could definitely use a Kiri instead of a Iliari, in my opinion. I think Beans works with what they're trying to do. She is their way to try and counter Fallen and Crater in the backline, so I think keeping the Moira is not a bad idea. But yes, I could see maybe the Ilari working a little bit less than the Kiri if they went that way.
Oh, good sleep dart. That was a great sleep dart onto Leo Leon, and wow, I mean, Nitrous Oxide, we haven't been really pointing out the supports here all too often in the series, but so far, Nitrous Oxide with the most ultimates used, or one of the most ultimates used so far. 5 ultimate usages here in this map thus far. I mean, one more than anybody else in this game.
And they're about to add number 6 to that. They have the Nano ready to go on the Crater for a Nano Blade of their own, which may confirm second phase is theirs, as Kane really don't have any answer for it unless just trying to get out of the dang way.
Well, Nano Blade is out, but
Crater
is denied any movement whatsoever, although the Iana still in a little bit of trouble. Can the Iana get out of this is the question. No, actually, the Iana does get killed, but it's going to be a little bit too little, too late, as Zepsi, Fallen, and really Crater get all their picks, and they're going to add 90 seconds to the bank, but I mean, even if Kane lost that fight, I feel like that's pretty impressive that Waffle Iron still got the pick on that.
Yeah, and I don't mind the grab being used. It just sucks for them that they couldn't get the rest of the fight to kind of fold their way, because it was the best kind of defense and countermeasure that they could have used in that instance. Now stand with the Death Blossom. Admittedly, the Death Blossoms in the entirety of today been a little lackluster. They just got to avoid the sleep from Nitrous, who has been spot on.
Yeah, Nitrous Oxide's been spot on, and Comics though also being spot on in this fight as well. Takes care of Fallen very early on. Genji v Genji battle. Who's gonna win this? There's a lot of craziness going on, and Comics is in the back line, or rather trying to take care of a Winston. Coalescence is gonna come out. That is a little bit of a bug. Yes, there is a Coalescence being used on your screen right now. The Coalescence forces them back, and right now, I mean, Kane's not putting up a bad defense here.
No, not a bad defense at all. You got 2.5 minutes roughly left. Nano again is back up for Nitrous Oxide. This is an incredible pace.
And on to Fallen, so guess what's going to happen here? There could be some magic going on. Fallen actually has to run away, but Beans now caught up inside of it. Pulse Bomb goes a little bit wide. Beans somehow still stays alive, and through it all, Fallen doesn't get a single final blow there, but here comes the blade out from Comics, who is nano boosted, and again, Comics finds who is going to find at least another one here onto the Yachty, unless anything else should happen, but it's going to be 3 more kills from Comics, making a 4th with the Shuriken and the team kill as Kane puts up the fence.
It went from a normal routine play to an absolute disaster for the Dragons. Weirdly enough, like you said, the Nano onto Fallen doesn't get anything that time around. Beans was able to run for her life in that back line. You draw out Pulse, you draw out the not the Nitro, oh my god, the Pulse Bomb. And now
we've been saying Nitrous Oxide a lot.
We have been saying Nitrous Oxide a lot, but they get nothing from it. And the Nano Blade from Kane just does everything for them. And now Tiffin in a very unnormal position. They're actually going to be starting to play from behind.
And so 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go on the clock. Differential right now, 1 minute and 10. Death Blossom available for a stand. Leo Leon does have that Graviton Surge available to them as well. Tiffin's got 3 ults to use. Kane's got 3. We'll see what they use here. Primal Rage is going to be the first one to be popped out, and this is going to be the Coalescence traded out from Beans right away to keep them alive. Comics is in your back line, though, getting rid of the masses. They get rid of Fallen, and now Crater's going to trade that out, but again, too little, too late here, as the fight might have already been decided considering your Yachty's gone, and the Moore is just going to go ahead and just wipe away with the powers that be. So 1 minute left to go. Tiffin's got no answers.
So far, absolutely nothing, but they may have one soon. Nano Blade online again, Pulse Bomb again, and the Captive Stun. They have all the offensive firepower they could want, but the Diva swap here could be interesting. If they can try and eat this grab, could be the finishing blow here.
That's what I was going to say. Going into a Zarya with a Diva, your hope is basically eating something here. Crater and Cream both getting kills, though, alongside of the assist from that, and Stan uses the Death Blossom along with the Graviton Surge. Leo Leon is still making this a relevant fight. They get rid of 3, so if they want to push this now with 30 seconds left to go, they don't have a lot of people to work with.
And they use the Nano Blade. They will swap over to the Lucio just to make sure they can get back in time. Nano Blade here from Kane. If they can build it up in time, in the last 15 seconds here, it might be the thing that gets Kane over to map 4.
So here we go. Healing Pylon gone for a couple of more seconds. Stan is going to come right on up to the top rope, and that's not going to find anything. Crater does find Waffle Iron. Big healing gone. Big chunk gone. Pulse Bomb lands a little bit wide. Leo Leon's going to try to be a hero again. Big Comics does have a blade available, but does not have an auto boost to pair that alongside unless Waffle Iron can come back. Leo Leon, though, trying to carry this, has already got 2, and now here comes the blade. The blade could be big here. It's going to be the outburst getting rid of the Yachty for right now. It's just got to swing away at Cream. Cream's going to just run away for right now, and that blade comes up with 0, nil, nada. And so this is going to be the Captain Sun finding at least 2 picks. Now the self-destruct comes out right on top of the point. I think that's going to be becoming gone, and somehow, some way, the Dragons are going to find their answers right at the last second. 3.32 meters is going to turn into 0, and the Dragons themselves, with no time on the clock, go uno, dos, adios as well, and they complete the map on Route 66. We're headed to round 2.
OT, here we come. It'll be a 25-second advantage here for the Cougars, and they will start on the defense first. But man, Tiffin, they just keep pushing near the end. Always able to get they got a few members of Kane as they were walking out of spawn, and that pick onto Waffle Iron so early on just delays the entire countermeasure Kane was trying to go for. You can see Becomix was kind of playing just so safe in the back, thinking, okay, come on, let's go, let's get this Nano Blade going. And by the time they actually got to use it, they took a swing onto Zepsi. They were able to go away. They had 2 whiffs on the Cream. And at that point, it's basically already done, and Kane just not able to get anything out of their only real win condition during that OT stretch.
Yeah, but here's the big difference, though, right now, right? Even if it's a 25-second differential coming up here in the second round, Kane's going to be the first one to defend. Tiffin is going to be the first one to attack. But remember what Tiffin did in their first fight. It was chaos, but Tiffin still won that fight. Kane's got to find a way to come up big here on this first attack.
Kane cannot make a simple mistake. They have to make sure they are playing their positions correctly. You cannot give a team like Tiffin a free opening pick, especially in a situation like this, to where one fight could be all the difference between extending this series or getting out the broom.
Broom peeking out of the closet right here, but it's going to be Tiffin on the back foot first. They are the first ones to attack. It's going to be the same thing here normally. A lot of teams will give up this free space on the first go-around. There was a recent change to Route 66, so it might give them a little bit more advantage to the attackers. But anyways, we're going to dive right in, and Becomix falling oh so low. Becomix has got to stay alive. There's a good sleep dart onto the Genji. The Bionade lands on Beans, though, and doesn't really land on anybody else. So a quick first exchange of sleep darts here lands up resulting in Kane having to back up. Good sleep dart on the Tracer.
Oh my God.
My, oh my. Waffle Iron says hello to Fallen, and Fallen does go down. But my, oh my, what a sleep dart to start this off. You talk about simple mistakes. That ain't one of them.
That is the complete opposite stand. Gonna get pressured, but we talked about, hey, you know, need to make sure you peel for Waffle Iron. They're gonna peel for their damn self. They're able to live based off of that sleep, and now everything is falling apart here for the Dragons as we enter OT.
OT happens. Becomix finds a dash away onto Zepsi. No more of this going on. They've got the Bionade out. Nitrous Oxide in a little bit of trouble. Does hit the Bionade onto the Genji, but the Genji's now gone. And it's going to be a deep flick kill from Becomix onto Fallen before Becomix does fall down. So what a play there. Nobody else is able to touch the point, and no time on the clock. Only 60 meters, and Kane's got the door open to deny the sweep.
This will be very intriguing on if Kane can actually squeak it in, because they made the adjustments on the defense. Like you said, they're not giving up the simple mistakes. They were there to try and help with Fallen, even though Waffle Iron at the end was able to protect themselves, but they held that high ground beautifully. They did not give in and drop down to the low ground early, like what they kind of did on their previous defense. So now a lot of pressure here on the Dragons. Only 60 meters to their name. And the fact there for Tiffin as well, they really only had one fight, because by the time Fallen died, it was what, maybe 15 seconds? They had to play it a 4v5, and the Cougars were able to take advantage. This is an interesting look and something we have not seen today. Cream on the aggressive, but more importantly, Fallen on the Pharah with Zepsi returning to the Mercy role.
Do you expect this to work, though? Because I feel like, I mean, the Echo and the Mercy combination didn't really all work out all too well for Tiffin when they played that on second point, I believe, was on the first round of attacks for Kane. I mean, do you expect this one to go any better?
I can see it maybe going slightly better, because you can play a little bit more defensive here with the Pharah, using just the giant rock structure here up on the high ground. But I'm curious to see if Becomix swaps right away.
Also on the Orisa.
Not the swap I thought Becomix would go to, but I think they're just committing to pushing onto that back line. I think if you're Kane, your win condition, try and find Zepsi off guard in one of these fights.
I think your win condition as well, getting a Nano Blade, because Becomix has been pretty good consistency-wise on that. But Fallen's got a ring of stance, so we already answered that question. It's going better already with this Pharmacy combination. The old faithful as well. Fallen has to back up because of a Bionade. Beans gets rid of Zepsi though. That's one half of the Pharmacy combination, which could very well be huge for them. And the spawn points, unless you're taxing that Mercy, still in favor of Kane here. So 40 seconds left to go. They will decide to push on here. They could have regrouped, but instead decide to push on. And why not? You've gotten rid of the Mercy. And so here we go. 35 seconds left to go. Leon gets rid of Cream. Huge.
Yeah, there's so much pressure on the high ground. Nitrous needs to live, so they basically give Fallen over to the slaughter. And look at Cade, look how far they're pushing up. They're not even giving Tiffin a chance.
They got to get there. 55 meters left to go, 2 meters left to go, and the sweep is denied. The Cougars are staying alive in this match, and my, oh my, sweeps be damned. We're headed to map number 4.
What a turnaround for Kane. As I said it right before the round started, if they can pick off the Mercy for Tiffin, they can really bring it back. And the comics just finds them as they're trying to fade away from that high ground, and everything changes there for Tiffin because now it is just Nitrous on the BAP. They have to play safe on that high ground, and it just does not work. And Kane are able to keep us going as we get ready for push.
And you and I are breathing a huge sigh of relief.
Oh my God. I don't know if you could have seen it, but I was punching the air just because the 3-0 curse when we're on a broadcast is broken. I am so relieved.
Yeah, if for those that don't know behind the scenes here, both of us have this little curse of a 3-0s going on. So glad that both of us, while we're on the same broadcast, can break that streak just a little bit here. But I want to go talk about, I want to really talk about one of the key players from that last map of Route 66. And you could see it towards the end there, especially with that one sleep dart. I mean, that was great, but another person you want to highlight here is Beans from Kane, because Beans doing an absolute crazy amount, and you can see it here, 26 eliminations, but what doesn't show here is the healing from the Moira. Yes, there was a lot of damage dealt and the eliminations being brought from the Moira, but I do want to give out this one number, 20,000 healing in 2 short rounds of what this was on Route 6, and there it is, there's the number right there, 20,266 for this Moira. If you're going to complain about a Moira not healing, Beans is not going to be one of the Moiras you can complain about, because that Moira was doing absolute work and a lot of good coalescences to stave away some pressure as well.
She did an excellent job. We just kept saying her name because she was either there dealing with Fallen, trying to deal with the pressure, and you can see it there. She wasn't just peeling there for the damage, for the auto lock. 20k healing for the Cougars just to keep them in this as we get ready for push. At least not as many options here for Tiffin. They can consolidate what they want to do, but you wonder if the sub will come back in. You wonder if we'll see more Junkrat, and it will be. Not a huge shock after you lose the only map that you did not have them play in, as they will be re-entering the stage. And I don't even feel like Crater felt and played that bad. They had 32 elims, 16 deaths. But I just felt like it wasn't that X factor that we really saw from earlier on in the season. The series.
The series, yeah. So, I mean, Super Tiger, obviously, the pressure on with that Junkrat. So now you got to imagine with the sub in, what could it possibly be? Remember, only 3 push maps to choose from: Coliseo, New Queen Street, as well as Esperanza. I mean, if you're going to play a Junkrat, Coliseo maybe for the first point.
Yeah, Coliseo for that initial phase, but it is just a long hallway where you can just huck nades. And the fact that on the sides, they have those little bit of the excerpts of the wall that you can bounce the nades off of, I could really see them going to Coliseo. If they don't go that route, my assumption would maybe be New Queen Street.
But even then, I mean, that assumption just kind of gets thrown out the window here.
Yeah, as it will be.
Coliseo.
Going over to Rome. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you figure if the Junkrat's going to be in, you figure that Coliseo is going to be in. So, I mean, well, we go to Coliseo now. We do go to Rome. And I do want to say best kind of, I guess you could say, daylight here for this map is evening. I mean, if there's any argument about it, tell me about the lighting later on in Rome. But anyways, we go into this next map here. Scoreline right now, for those of you just joining us, Tiffin and Kane going at it. Tiffin trying to keep their undefeated record in the ECAC. Right now, leading 2-1, and they won the first 2 maps on Lijiang Tower as well as King's Row. And Route 66 went the way of the Cougars, denying the sweep. The broom stays in the closet this time around as we head in to the 4th map of push. And again, you're seeing Coliseo right now as they fly right on through. We keep it going here as we go right into the map. And for Tiffin, no surprise, Septilence, we're calling you. Junkrat's back out.
We have a Weaver in sighting.
Yeah, Life Weaver as well. First chance of this.
on the Life Weaver, presumably to allow Cream a little bit of a longer leash to be a little bit more aggressive, and they can yank them out. Nice Bionate already. Becoming so low, and yep,
Wow.
Nice Oxide will deal with it themselves.
The Comics already getting that first pick onto the Genji. Genji can't get any more, so here comes the first movement. And by the way, a very interesting stat that I got the other day for push maps. If you were to push the robot up to the first 22 meters, your team, or the first ones to push it above 22 meters, your team has a 78% chance of winning the map. I mean, that's got to be pretty impressive to see if they can push it, which they will get beyond the 22 meters to start, as Super Tigers already gotten rid of Stand. And for right now, 25 meters and counting, Tiffin's just going to keep this rolling.
It's like, at this point, you gotta think, if you're Kane, like, man, we thought, you know, we wouldn't have to deal with the Junkrat anymore. As you can see, Nitrous Oxide, you can see how they're getting their ult so quickly. All that damage coming in, but will be Super Tiger isolated. Becomix is able to take him out.
But Becomix trading that out right away. Cream's able to swing the hammer onto Becomix. Does get the deep play kill onto the Genji, and now Stan's going to go ahead and use the rifle to get that secondary pulse fire shot out. It's going to be Leo Leon getting it back. So 41 meters is what Tiffin will get to start off. Not a bad start for them at all as they get rid of the Life Weaver and they push the robot on.
They're at least able to stop before the tick, which is massive, because I think the stat if you get first tick and to win is something ridiculous, like 85 to 90%. It is something unreal. So Tiffin in a pretty decent spot, but not the perfect spot quite yet. And ultimates will now be coming to play. The Tree of Life may see some life in this fight as already Nano on to fallen.
Riptire as well is going to come out from Super Tiger. Stan cannot run away from that. And there's going to be the Nano boosted Tracer. So Tiffin in the end using two ultimates, which is the Nano boost plus the Riptire, but it's all going to be worth it in the end.
At least if you're Kane, nothing used, but excellent there. You can just tell Super Tiger waiting for that bubble to run out, able to take out Stan, who has admittedly had a quiet beginning. You wonder if they would ever swap to an Echo or a Pharah or something like that to try and deal with Super Tiger.
Yeah, you really have nothing in the air that can, or you really have nothing that can take care of what's in the air right now. I mean, no Diva, no hit scan or anything. You kind of wonder if Kane's going to try to adjust to this, but instead, well, there goes Zepsi down. Becoming is just going to fall down. A Coalescence, by the way, again, it is a visual, but it is being used. Beans does go down by the hands of the Pulse Bomb, but that might be just a little bit too late. They're too little too late as Kane takes it back.
Yeah, Shatter got nothing, so the poor Hottie just keeps getting brought up in a reincarnation in some of these games. Just nothing landing for the Reinhardt to stand. Again, super low, bubble used, able to get out this time. And they do have the Nano Blade still in tow, but look how low Leon is. They stood the grab out of desperation.
There's the Graviton Search. Tree of Life is going to be used at the same time. Graviton Search isn't going to find any use whatsoever because the Tree of Life cancels that out. But it's a good thing that's early on here. And now it's going to be the Nano Blade from Becomix that's going to swing away at this. But Becomix can't find anything. This Tree of Life is helping out so much. But on one swing, gets 2 kills. Becomix has to back up 15 health. And it's going to get healed up. But dies to the trap. Oh, I can't even calculate what craziness is going on here. Green does go down. It's going to be Kane Cougars getting on some more meterage here on the robot.
You just don't see the trap sometimes. What can you say? You just don't see it. As another nice fight there for Kane. And I don't even mind the grab out of desperation from Leo. They live. That is all they needed to do there was live. Puts Cream in an awkward position. And Tiffin now have to go into this next fight with only the Nano and the Riptire for them. Kane, though, have literally nothing in the ult department. They got to find some sort of pick here to start us off.
Yeah, Riptire's going to start. It's going to be the DPS combination. Riptire alongside of the Nano boosted Tracer. Tracer's going to go away, but that staves him off for a couple of moments, splits up the team. So here comes the Riptire. They didn't know that one was behind the door, but it doesn't matter. Oh, okay, you got to feel sorry for Stan at this point. I mean, Stan caught both of the Riptires so far just by themselves. And this is looking like a fight win here because Leo Leon really doesn't have much in terms of healing coming to them, except for Beans, who's going to just try to keep this going. Coalescence 5% away, looking for the heals, and now does have the Coalescence available. Is there going to be a call for this Coalescence to be used right away? They still have a chance at this fight, really, and there's nothing really lost so far. Now Leon is being in so much trouble here. Just got to use it, but the Coalescence a little too late. Waffle Iron does go down, and now it's just damage being poured onto Cream, who gets life gripped away. You got to imagine that this fight is going to go right over to the Dragons because now they have the Earth Shatter available to them, decide to use it if they have that bubble. Swings away still, just trying to pour out the damage. No more bubbles for the Zarya either. Has the Earth Shatter available, and the Earth Shatter goes down, lands down on the ground, finds at least 2 picks from Super Tiger and Fallen to follow up. This Genji's got no chance. It's back to the Dragons.
It was just a fight that Tiffin would love to have every time. As there's Orion trying to make sure Becomix is able to be taken out, but it just goes so long. And when you're Tiffin, you have the lead. You are plenty okay with having the fight go extremely long. As now this bot may actually reach the tick, but no, it will not. Last second contest, grab's already thrown.
Grab is thrown, but can anybody follow up on that is the question. They can't for right now, but there's going to be the Tree of Life. Stan moves on over to the Torbjorn, by the way, in the process. It might be a little too late, though. Fallen's already taking care of Waffle Iron. They do get the checkpoint, so increase that stat up just a little bit more. Cream and Fallen both getting their kills, and the bridge is now their main point of concern.
You gotta think, if Tiffin win one more fight, they get it to triple digits for meters, that might be it for this map, unless Kane can really bring something around, because Tiffin have been able to rotate their ult so well, but Nano's throwing both sides.
Yep, Nano Blade comes out first, as well as the Nano boost from onto Fallen. Becomix finds one. Becomix finds a second one in the backline. That's both of them down. Riptire does kill Becomix, but in a 3-for-2 trade, especially where this robot is, you take that any day of the week if you're Kane, but you got a lot of meters to make up.
And the Tor pick already pegged dividends, able to pick off a few in the back and at least helps keep the flankers at bay. But that is something that Kane needed desperately, and both teams threw everything that they had at that fight. Tiffin used, what, I think 3 ultimates there.
3 ultimates,
Kane
yep.
used their only 3 as well. So now at least spawns will be back to neutral as we are right back in the middle of this map.
Yep, again, Coalescence being used here. Becomix just going to dash away. Super Tiger gone. And it doesn't die to the Total Mayhem passive either, so at least this time, you've got the Genji still alive with you, making it a 5v4 situation. Oh, Tracer falling also low. Fallen's got to get back there. Fallen does get back there for a little while here. Everybody falling also low on the side of Tiffin, and it's a great bio-nade from Waffle Iron onto Zepsi, who does get that kill. Meanwhile, it's going to be some meterage here, 38 meters, but not a lot of gains because this Reinhardt's just staying alive on the point. Got to get rid of the Reinhardt. That's just causing you to pause right at the robot, which they do. Question is, do they get it? Wait, 2 concussive mine kills from Super Tiger? Wait a minute now. Hold on. They've still got a chance at this point. Leon is still on this. Waffle Iron and Beans are still on their point. However, do they have enough to keep this going? And they're still going to contest this. There goes the Junkrat. Wow, Super Tiger, I thought had the chance there, but it's still looking like a scrap fight here. I mean, Cream is still full health.
Cream has the Shadow. You thought they're waiting for a bubble to go down. There it is, and Leo, there you go. Multi-core thrown? Okay. Okay, they believe they can still win this fight here, which isn't a bad thing at all. They have the Reinhardt backup considering how low the Reinhardt was. And now the Reinhardt's just going to jump back down. It's going to be Becomix right on this Lifeweaver, and the Lifeweaver falling low, but so does Becomix, who can't get away from it. So the prolonged fight goes to Tiffin despite Kane getting 10 meters out of it. They get 10 meters, but you got to think you need a tick there if you're Kane. Another elongated fight around this bridge. Tiffin able to eventually claw their way through. I won't lie, if Cream's not on this Ryan, I think this map might be done. The Ryan isn't doing a lot other than being an absolute nuisance on point, but it is part of the reason why they have not been able to go that far, and Grab doesn't get much.
Total damage block so far for the Ryan, by the way, over 12,000 damage. There's the nano boost done to Leon. 1 minute, 15 seconds left to go. Nothing is going to be used for Kane except for the nano boost onto Becomix, but Becomix says, hold on, I don't think we're winning this fight. Good discipline there to hold on to the blade, but is it going to be enough in this next fight will be the question as the robot moves on.
I believe Nanoch went on to Leo just to keep them up.
Oh, it might have. You're right, actually. You're
yeah,
right.
and it maybe let them live another second or two, as they will go over to the Wrecking Ball, pure stall mode now for Kane, as they are desperate to get a pick, and I forget this is even a spot.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, this is going to be a Riptire from behind that they have no idea about. Blade's going to come out, Becomix finds nothing. Nada with the Blade. No ultimates left for Kane. Riptire, only a couple seconds left to go. It's just going to go above ground. They know where it is, but Beans can get away from it. No fade or anything. 30 seconds left to go. Where this robot stands right now, they can get another fight in if they're quick enough, and they're still going to push this along with 20 seconds left. What a stick from Fallen onto Becomix. Becomix is no longer relevant. 20 seconds remain.
And yeah, I think to this point, Kane you're just praying to whatever higher power you believe in.
Oh, no.
This may not be good. That is just CC Mania on the Leo. You use the Coalescence, but everything is just falling apart as Tiffin just tore up the defense of the Cougars.
Yep. Overtime clock will happen, but the difference being a lot. Over 50 meters, really over 60 meters, really. Falling gets rid of Stan early on to that Torbjorn turret, no more. They have a chance considering where the spawn rooms are, but a chance being slim because even if they win this fight, they got to go the other way. We might not even see another fight go the other way as Nitrous Oxide takes care of Waffle Iron. Fallen on this Nano Boost takes care of the rest here. They start to clean up house. There's the slam down. It's not going to go for much, if anything. And the overtime clock runs out, and the Dragons are going to take the series 3-1. Colosseo, Lijiang Tower, Kings Roll, all theirs to keep. The undefeated Tiffin stays up there.
Tiffin staying up there with some of our undefeateds. And we'll have to wait and see at the end of the night where they will end up standing. But what a play from them. Kane, a lot of things to work on, you can tell. But there are some decent sides and some decent things that they showed tonight. They'll be going against Sunny, Canton, Overwatch next week. But man, this Tiffin team looking incredible right now. They play Sage next week, who are also undefeated going into tonight. So that might be a matchup we're looking at next week. But man, the Tiffin show is real, and the Dragons, they're showing they might be one of the better teams here in this division.
Yeah, 4-0 so far. Map differential right now going up to a +9. Total of 12-3 so far inside of this Grandmasters Plus division. And you were talking about other matchups that they do have. I mean, let's go through the other teams that were there. Fisher and Delaware are your two teams that are still alive in the undefeated streaks, as well as FIU's regular varsity team, I believe, in Cumberland Phoenix, OW. Those are your other teams that are still undefeated at this point in terms of this, or rather in this series so far. I take a look at this, just trying to go ahead and gather my thoughts here. Blue Hens, though, 4-0 inside of this division, and right now looking pretty good to keep that 4-0 so far, as they have a couple of matches coming up here, but still Tiffin up there with the rest of the undefeateds. I mean, they're 4-0, and actually, as I look at the standings, yeah, everybody here 4-0. FIU, Cumberland, Delaware's got 2 teams, and Fisher Chips got 2 teams. So one of 7 teams still undefeated, at least in this series that we know of so far. We'll see if the other ones can get undefeated there. But my, oh my, Tiffin looks strong.
And looking at their schedule, they play Sage, and if they beat Sage next week, they don't play Delaware. They don't play Fisher. The only other team I think that might push them around is going to be Penn State. They may go undefeated at this rate, and that is a very realistic possibility for something that I personally didn't think was a possibility for the squad going into this season, but they're showing up when it matters against teams like Kane, who have been around for a long time, and that Junkrat play, it is just ridiculous. Like, for whatever reason, Kane could not find an answer, and it seems like some other teams can't find an answer either.
Yeah, can't find an answer whatsoever. Well, that will start to wrap things up here. Is again, for those of you just joining the end of this here, Tiffin and Kane going to go ahead and finish that map up. Tiffin onto a 4-0 series, 4-0 record, I should say, within the ECAC. One of the few undefeateds left to go here after 4 weeks of play. Kane falls to a 2-2 record, but still alive for the playoffs coming up later on here in the semester. But a map record now, and you can say either while we're waiting here, we can say that Kane didn't put up a fight either. They did get that one very good win on Route 66, which, I mean, had a lot of great moments, especially if you're becoming at this point. We'll take a look at tomorrow coming up here, HSCL Rocket League coming up, as well as ECC Valorant, so you don't want to miss out on that. And so really it's going to be lots of action here throughout the rest of the week in the ECAC, in the ECC, HSCL, throughout the rest of the Esports U Network. Have plenty of action coming to you later on in the week. Special shout outs here, Cool Scooter Observer, as well as Professor Layton Colton back in the studios. And for my partner here, Jesse, hey, no sweeps for the two of us today. So shout out to your brother Jake there. No sweeps for the pair of us today. So nothing doing here. A 3-1 series final score, but the Tiffins stay undefeated in the ACAC. For all of us at Esports U, we say thank you and have a good rest of your night. Take care, everybody. Have a good rest of your night, and thanks for watching.
Still looking for it. A little bit of damage being dealt. Will be able to deal with that raise early. Skunky Gamer finds entry onto site. The rest of the team considering the push onto B at this point.
Oh, and if Gunky gets this kill, that is going to be tough to retake. Position gained, and shots connected. Despite the low HP, One Collapser hearing the Killjoy coming. This is going to be a tough one. In fact, it's over.
C-Site is all for the taking here. Multiple members behind here. It's a big swing coming through from Gunky Gamer. OT Freeze is good for one with the operator up above. Oh my goodness, manages to land a no-scope there, but Han Solo Burger pretty good with the rifle as well. Lung Collapse are pretty good with the rifle on the opposite side. OT Freeze will pick another one up. Actually, clutches it all out as
for the job there. Wheaton's not going to check.
Uh-oh.
How long does Lung Collapser wait? That long is the answer! Turns on a dime, and another, the spike getting planted by Mia, but she's all alone. Oh, no! Yeah, now Han Solo Burger gonna have to do some craziness. Trying to isolate duels, gonna hit the first and even gets away. Seekers can go out, that's gonna make things a little tougher. Shots continuing to go through, and Han Solo Burger, he's isolated another one. 1v4, absolutely possible. The guiding light gets the confirmation, and Wheaton shooting left and right will have the read, but Han Solo Burger is the...
Doc gets 3 of them in mail, and now so many angles to cover, but yet it doesn't seem to be the right place, the right time for Buffalo State and Tiffin. Han Solo Burger just cleans it up. There you go. There you go. Wrap it up, Tiffin. Take the series 2-0.
Now an over pursuit on the offensive end from Eastern Kentucky leaves us one in the 3v2 situation. It's just such a back and forth game. It's so close. Open opportunity, and it's going to be the go-ahead goal. Battlestar, the savior here in OT.
Oh, it was 100% crucial. Again, you know, they were able to get some of that momentum back into their favor, and now they're going to ride that wave of momentum to an early Game 3 goal here. Goal cushion, but for how long? As that one just kisses off the crossbar, but doesn't have the distance to go any further.
You guys don't know how impressive that was. I want to just take you back as Brady's going to score. Tenacity, whatever you want to call it. This is a whole different ball game, and they keep on tacking Moron now 6-1, maybe going for this Brazil at this point in time. This is going to be a good 50-50 challenge. This is a ricochet. That one, I was going to say, has to be saved away, or else it's going to ricochet its way into the net. Regardless, it's still going to happen. Sasuke is going to pick up their first goal.
To clear it out and now have a little avenue here to work with Braided Axe. In the 1v1, gets the swish and the flick, but can't put it in as the follow-up shot goes high. Will rain off the backboard, and Evo Bailey is there to clean up the mess to get the
offense, where you have just so many misdirections and just redirects and things of that nature. And it pairs very, very well with some of the passing plays that they kind of throw towards the net, like this one right here. So it's kind of icing on the cake, right? I can't really nail.
Already the two teams are meeting, and it doesn't seem like Leon's missing a single step. The first blood coming from them again with that fire strike. And then, oh my God, Beans! She's having the time of her life. 2 with 1 boot.
They will switch it up. Bastion on the field, as well as the ride, and well, there they go.
Well, you don't even get to see what the Bastion can do before Beans says, no, you're going for a
ride.
Beans does it again! What is going on here, Jesse? They are having a smidge of difficulties.